Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. In this video we are going to be doing my May 2020 collection update. This is where I just put all of my planes on a table and kind of talk you through them, and this is a pretty significant one for two reasons. Well, the first one being, before this video I counted up how many planes I have, and you cannot make this up, but I have exactly 200 planes on the dot. That was not planned, that was just pure coincidence, but it's kind of crazy that I have 200 planes now. Like, that is insane. I remember getting 100 and that seemed like a lot. I actually got up to about 180 with my European and Australian collection. Then I sold off my European and Australian collection, got down to about maybe 120, kind of like that, and I've been building it back up, and now we're again at a new high. So it's pretty insane. The other significant thing is this is actually my 10th collection video, and to honor that I've actually made a playlist of all of my collection videos so you can see how my collection has progressed. I'll link that at the end of the video, but without further ado, I guess we're just going to get started with this. So starting off down here at United Express, we have United Express -8200, then next to that we have another United Express -8200. Next to that we have the first United New Livery, we have a United Express CRJ 550. Then next to that we have another United Express CRJ 550 and a third CRJ 550 from United Express. Moving along back to the Continental colours, we have a United Express E170, another E170, then we have an E175 in the Continental colours, another E175, and then in the new colours we have another United Express E175, another E175, and a third, or I should say fifth, E175 as well. Moving on from that we have the new Gemini Jets A319 in the United new colours, United A319, and then moving on from that we have a United A320, another United A320, then we have a United 737-700, United 737-800, United 737-800 in the Continental colours. Then we have a United 737-800 in the new colours, another United 737-800 in the new colours, and a third United 737-800 in the new colours. Moving on from that, we have back to the old Continental colours. This is my first United narrow body. We have a United 737-900. Then we have a United 737-900 in the Eco Skies livery, and a United 737 MAX 9. Then we have a United 757-200, this is the 2013 release, and we have another United 757-300 this time. Moving on, we'll go to the United wide bodies now. We have a United 767-300, a United 787-8, United 787-10 in the Continental colours, and then we have a United 787-10 in the new colours. This is my first and also only United wide body in the new colours. Then we have a United 777-200ER, another United 777-200ER, then we have a United 777-300ER, and a United 747-400. Moving back now, we're going to go to the American and American Eagle aircraft. So starting off down here, we have an American Eagle CRJ 200. Then we have another American Eagle CRJ 200, American Eagle CRJ 700, American Eagle E175, another American Eagle E175. Then we have an American One World 737-800 in the One World livery, as I said. Then we have an American 737-800, an American 737 MAX 8, an American A321, an American 757-200, an American 757-200 in the chrome colours. This is from NG Models. And then we have a very old and also very rare American 757-200 in the One World colours. It's also chrome. And then finally for American we have an American MD-83. And moving back to Delta now, here we have a Delta Connection CRJ 200, a Delta 717, Delta MD-90. These have also these have been announced that they are going to retire on June 1st. The final flight is actually going to be from Washington Dulles, so you know, my airport, to Atlanta as well. And this one, I know it's a bit messed up, you have some problem with the paint and stuff like that. This one I actually got as a traded model, however it came like this, so I'm hoping to get, if Gemini Jets release one, probably a better quality Delta MD90 just to, you know, pay tribute to that model, I guess. And then when I get Dulles up and running, I'll probably add one in for the first update just to kind of pay tribute, because at the moment Dulles is still under construction. But yeah, then here we have a Delta A220, a Delta 737-900, a Delta 757-200 without winglets, and a Delta 757-200 with winglets. Then moving on, we have an Alaska Air Cargo 737-400F. These have been retired and replaced with a 737-700F. I believe Alaska are the only operators of the 737-700F in the world, so that's quite cool. Then here we have the Alaska 737-800 in the Salmon 30 Salmon colours. Then we have an Alaska A320 and a JetBlue A320. Moving back now to Sun Country, we have a Sun Country 737-800 in the Tide Pod colours. Then we have a Sun Country 737-800 in the older colours. Southwest 737-700 in the Canyon Blue livery. Southwest 737-700 in the Triple Crown 1 livery. Southwest 737-700 in the Tennessee 1 livery. Then here we have a Southwest 737-700 in the Heart livery. Then here we have two Southwest 737-800s in the Heart livery. These are both from NG models, and also from NG models we have the Southwest 737-800 in the Canyon Blue colours. Then we have two from Gemini Jets. We have two 737 MAX 8s, one of which is broken slightly, which is the second one. I don't know if you can see. You can see with one of the winglets is broken, so you know, I tend to not include this in airport updates or anything, just because, you know, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, but I think it deserves a place in the main fleet. Then briefly here, before we move on to the other aircraft, we have a Frontier A320neo and a Frontier A320. But moving back here to our Australian aircraft. These are my last two narrow body Australian aircraft, because if you don't know, I used to do model airport of Adelaide. However, I sold a lot of those aircraft, and now these two are the last ones. I'm probably going to keep these just because it's a good reminder of Adelaide, and you know, it's kind of their legacy staying in my collection. And also Tiger Air are now deceased as well, so you know, it's kind of sad, and it's nice to have this in my collection. It's also my this is my only Phoenix 737 I have in my collection as well, and this one, you know, is quite cool. It's quite a cool livery. This is the Qantas Playing Home 737-700, not 700, 800, sorry. And then we have a Tiger Air 737-800 as well. Moving on, we have a Volaris A320neo. I would like to get an A319 if that does come out. Then here we have an Aeromexico 737-800, Copa Air 737-800. Moving on to the Canadian aircraft now, we have an Air Canada A321, an Air Canada 737 MAX 8, Air Canada E175, that'll focus. Yeah, so here we have the Air Canada Express E175, the Air Canada Express CRJ 900, and the Air Canada Express CRJ 200. Then we have the Porter Q400 in a special livery. I would like to get just a plain Porter Q400. Then moving back, we have an Omni Air International Charters 757-200 without winglets, a Four Seasons 757-200 aircraft. Then we have a Blank 727, a Boeing Business Jet 737-700. Moving on to Iceland Air now, we have a Iceland Air 757-300 in the 100 years of independence for Iceland. Then we have an Iceland Air 757-200 in the Hekla Aurora livery. Then we have an Iceland Air 757-200 in the 80th anniversary livery. Then we have an Iceland Air 757-200, Iceland Air 737 MAX 8, and a WOW Air A321 Neo. Moving on now, we have an Avianca A321, and then behind that we have an Avianca A330-200. Avianca have now gone into bankruptcy, however it is chapter 7 or 11, I can't remember, either chapter 7 or 11, which means it's not too serious at the moment, so Avianca will probably pull through. But then moving on, we have a relatively new model here. We have an Aer Lingus A321neo, then we have an Aer Lingus A330-300, Aer Lingus A330-200, Austrian 767-300, and an Austrian 777-200. Then here we have a TAP Portugal A330-200. Then we have an Alitalia A330-200. Behind that there we have KLM 787-9. These KLM 787s and A330, they kind of look green in this lighting. Don't know if you can see that, but yeah, they don't look like that in real life. But then here we have a KLM A330-300, Brussels A330-300, Finnair One World A350-900. Scandinavian A350-900, this is the Phoenix one. Then here we have a Scandinavian A330-300, and then we have a Swiss A330-300, and then moving on, we're going to move on to our British Airways fleet, which is probably my biggest international fleet, apart from obviously United. So here we have a British Airways 787-8, a British Airways 787-9, I'll give you a better view of the nose, there you go. And then next to that we have a British Airways 777-200ER, a British Airways A350-1000, a British Airways One World 747-400, British Airways 747-400 in the regular livery, British Airways Landor Colours 747-400. I'll probably get Negus and BOAC at some point. Then here we have a British Airways A380. This is GXLEI. This is my favourite like individual aircraft. I've been on this aircraft. I've seen it at London Heathrow many times, and this is the model. So I would like to get this model in 1-200 if there is a GXLEI aircraft in 1-200. Then here we have a British Airways Concorde and an Air France Concorde. I do want to talk about my British Airways fleet real quick. I am thinking about just getting every single wide body aircraft British Airways have. I'm not missing much. I just need to get the 787-10, 777-300, and that's pretty much it. But then moving on to Air France, we have the Air France A340-300, Air France A350-900, Air France 777-200ER, Air France 777-300ER, Air France A380. Moving on to Lufthansa now, we have in the old colours, we have a A330-300, then we have a 747-400, and in the new colours we have a Lufthansa A330-300, a A340-600 and a 747-400. I do have the Gemini jets, the new 747-8 on order. I was hoping it would get here by this update, but sadly it hasn't. Then over there we have the Aeroflot A330-300, then we have the Virgin Atlantic A330-300 and the Virgin Atlantic 747-400. Moving on to the Asian kind of aircraft now, we have an Air Koryo IL-62M. Then up there, now it's argumentative whether Turkish belongs in European or Asian, because Istanbul, where they're based, the river flowing through Istanbul, part of Istanbul is in Europe, part of it's in Asia, so it's kind of 50-50. It's the same with El Al as well, but ignoring that, we've got a Turkish A330-200, a Turkish 787-9, and an El Al 747-400. Then there, not from Asia of course, we have an Air New Zealand 747-400, and back onto Asia we have an ANA 777-200 in the 2020 livery. Then back here we have an Etihad 787-9, then we have a Korean Air 777-300. This is my only non-ER variant, so for all the rest of the 777-300s, because there are a lot now, I'm just going to be going through them. I'm not going to say ER, but the rest of them are ER variants. This is my only non-777-300 that is not an ER, if that makes sense. So here we have a Saudi Arabian 777-300, a Qatar One World 777-300. I do want to get the Qatar 777-300 in just the regular livery. And then we have an Air China 777-300, an Air India 777-300, a Cathay Pacific A350-1000. Then we have an Emirates 777-300 and an Emirates A380. But then moving back, we have a Royal Air Maroc 787-8, and behind that we have a Royal Air Maroc 787-9. Behind that we have an Ethiopian 787-8 and an Ethiopian 777-200 LR. Then moving back here to, again, these were kind of like the African ones. After that Emirates one, it went into Africa. But then finishing off with Africa, we have an Egyptair 787-9, a South African A330-300, South African A350-900, and a South African A340-600. Going to move over to military and also cargo aircraft. Now I did add my Antonov into the military section just because it looks good next to the C5. But starting off here, we have of course the Antonov 225. Then here we have the United States Air Force San Antonio C5 Super Galaxy. Then we have two United States Air Force C-17s, a Royal Netherlands Air Force C-130, and a Royal Air Force C-130. Here we have the VSS Unity. The Unity is the one that crashed, so this is kind of a sad model in a way, but yeah, Moving on from that, we have an Arizona National Guard KC-135 from the United States Air Force, and also from the United States Air Force we have a Hawaiian KC-135, an Omega Tanker 707. We have a Royal Air Force C1K, which is based on the VC-10. Then here we have another one from the Royal Air Force, a C1K. Then we have a United States Air Force E4B 747-200, which is also known as the Doomsday plane. Then here we have the B1 from the United States Air Force, the B2 from the United States Air Force, and then we have 4 F117s from the United States Air Force. Moving over to cargo aircraft now, we have a Air Secure Columbia 727, then we have a DHL 757-200, a FedEx 757-200, a FedEx 767-300, a FedEx MD-11, and a FedEx MD-11 there that is slightly broken. You can see it doesn't have the engine piece on the back there. That did come like that, sadly, but these two are very old models. These are from like 1998 or something like that. So yeah, they're very old models, so it's expected. I do want to get also a UPS 757-200, but for UPS at the moment we just have the UPS 767-300 and a UPS 747-400. Moving on to our other scale models now, I do want to increase my 1 to 200 collection, but for now here we have this United Express E170 in the Blue Tulip livery, and a British Airways Concorde in the Negus livery. And then finally, for 1 to 72 scale, we have this F-15 Strike Eagle in the Bold Tigers livery. Now moving around, we're going to hit up the damaged planes. This is always the sad part of the video, but well, we have the classic United Blue Tulip 787-8. If you don't know the story behind this one, I've said it multiple times, but basically this one was ages ago. This was one of my first models I ever got. I was young, so I was stupid, but yeah, when United got their new livery, I just decided to absolutely obliterate this. I buried it in a hole, I burnt it, I destroyed it as much as I could, and this is the outcome. Then here we have a Hawaiian A330-200. This is a very sad one. I do want to get some more Hawaiian aircraft. I do have one on order actually. I have the new NG Hawaiian A330-200. This one was in the old livery as well, so it's kind of a blessing in disguise that this one is broken so I can get the new livery. Then over there we have a Malaysian A330-300, a Southwest 737-800 from Gemini Jets, an American Chrome 737-800, an Alaska 737-800. This one's only slightly broken, but I do have a new one on the way anyway, so I'll just leave this one in the damage section. This is just a failed custom Avianca A319, however it used to be a US Airways A319 in the Piedmont livery. And then there we have the British Airways World Cargo 747-8F. But that does conclude my collection video for May 2020. I hope you did enjoy. It's insane that we now have 200 aircraft. I don't know what we're going to get up to by November, because of course I do one of these every November and May. This is of course my May one, and it's growing, man. I don't know when I'm going to stop, but you know, there we go. It's big. I've got room for more. My goal is to get every aircraft that goes to Washington Dulles, and so you know, I've pretty much got the majority of them. I just need a lot more United new liveries. As they come out, I'll get them, and then just regular just the old kind of international aircraft when they either change the aircraft they service to Dallas or a new airline. I've got to get an Iberia A330 soon, because Iberia have started flights to Dallas. Well, they were before this whole coronavirus hit. And then also a Capo Verde 757. They've got 3 757s in their fleet and they're all different colours. So I'll see if NG release any of them, because if anybody's going to release a Capo Verde 757, it's going to be NG. But apart from that, that does kind of conclude this video. I hope you did enjoy. And yeah, apart from that, I guess I will see you in the next video. So I want to thank you very much for watching this video. And again, I will see you in the next one. Bye.